want to look like male models, huh? As we explore the male fountain of youth tonight on the show, I'm again here with Nancy Friday, author of The Power of Beauty, and our plastic surgeon down there, Dr. Darrick Antell, is also with us again. And Alan Farnham has joined us. He's a writer for Fortune magazine. Very interesting article there. You see he hangs out with some very interesting people as well. Is that Claudia Schiffer there, Alan?
You're the one, the only.
Boy, what a great assignment, huh? And you basically have done a tremendous makeover on yourself for this article. I mean, from top to bottom.
True. I'm not wearing all of it right now, but for
you
3
reverted?
months, I reverted to my old self. But for a while, I had a toupee and a chemical peel and about $180 worth of makeup and other things beyond that.
Yeah. And we have a bunch of pictures from the magazine, your transformation as we talk about this. What was the first thing that you did?
I got the toupee.
The toupee. We see it right there. Now, how much was the toupee?
If I had paid for it full price, it would be about $2,500.
That much, really?
Yes.
But that toupee could take you the rest of your life. Now, do most men have 1 or 6 or 100 toupees? What's the...
I think these days most men have 1 because they're very durable, and when that's put on your head, it's put on your head semi-permanently.
Yeah. And would you ever do that?
Well, I did do it for 3 months, but at the end of this experiment, I decided not to, just because keeping it up was sort of a nuisance. One of the few good things about being bald is that you have a no-maintenance head.
Yeah. Our boomers, I keep saying that we're very concerned about this. Why do you think we are concerned? Is it more than just cosmetics and wanting to look better for the opposite sex? It's also competition in the workplace, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I mean, as Nancy, I think, has pointed out, there's increased male-female competition in the office, and then there's a generational thing between men. No guy who's 40 or 50 wants to be thought that just because he has a 40 or 50-year-old face, his ideas are any less valid than somebody younger.
Mentally, emotionally, he still feels youthful.
Right.
And of course he would, but physically he doesn't look the same as the 20 and 30-year-olds in the office. You think this is a healthy trend, don't you?
I think it's good that men are getting into looking good, because it isn't something that's specific to either sex. Everybody likes to be admired. We're all born, we all live on that adoring gaze when we're children, when we're babies, and as we grow up, that's where in the past the line used to be drawn. Boys would go off and be boys and stop caring about how they look. Oh, Ma, stop combing my hair, Ma. And girls became the pretty ones, and boys in time when adolescence came along sought the girls, and that was the division. That was how men didn't used to want to be looked at. They felt uncomfortable. In fact, people would think if a guy was too good looking. 10 years ago when I began my research, there were like 2 or 3 very good looking men in Manhattan, and whenever Esquire or one of those magazines did What's It Like Being a Really Handsome Guy, these 3 guys were hit upon time and time again. But they always said things like, it's very hard to be taken seriously, said these very handsome men, meaning if you were really good looking as a guy, everyone thought you were a flake. These 3 men happened to be brilliantly successful, so they clearly had made it work for them. But now, I mean, look, here we are. I mean, look at you.
Oh, yeah, no,
I mean, I saw those gadgets.
People take me plenty seriously, too. I wish I was better looking. Let's get into some of the things that you did and that men are doing, believe it or not, in America. You talked about spending a lot of money on makeup. Doctor, are you finding people, just men, specific, and maybe mostly, I was going to say in the Midwest, but that's a bad thing to say, any part of the country, are still shying away from makeup?
I think that for men it hasn't been quite as popular as people might have expected some years ago, in my opinion. I don't have actually any research facts. Do either of you?
Some, yes.
Yeah, but people are spending a lot of money on makeup.
I think you have to define what you mean by makeup. If you're talking about concealer-type powders and lotions, men are very leery of that. But moisturizers, things that promote the health of the skin, they're using every bit as much as women are.
I think men are wary of something that might come off on their shirt or on somebody else. I mean, a telltale...
Well, the scary thing is that somebody would know that you were wearing makeup. I mean, if I went back to Kansas City, where I'm from, and the guys got together, we went for a beer. Hey, are you wearing makeup?
If you took out your compact.
Oh, please. Of course, I don't have any makeup on now. I mean, I got a ton of makeup on because I look like hell if I don't, especially on TV. But you talked in the article about butt implants.
Yeah.
First of all, what in the world would that be?
Well, buttock implants are available to make the buttock rounder or more full. It's a bit of a controversial plastic surgery operation, in my opinion, and something that at this point is not really widely practiced.
Would it feel like you're sitting on Mom's plate or something? I mean, do you feel it? Is it plastic? What's it made of?
It's actually a rubbery material that is a silicone-type rubber in the majority of cases, and it's placed underneath the muscle, so there is some padding over it, and you don't really feel it. There are other alternatives, though, which would include fat transfers, where you can take some of your own fat and inject it in that area.
Like take it out of your love handles and put it in your...
How about just padded underwear? Because they have padded underwear for men.
Well, now, Alan, he's worn padded underwear. He may have some on right now.
What's it like?
Well, I tried it on very briefly.
Briefly, so to speak. Oh, that's cute.
Right.
It's padded, and in fact, you can get it so that the pads enhance areas of your anatomy you might like to have people think are enhanced.
Well, as a matter of fact, for that eye-catching buttock, it's $25. Now, for $5 extra, you can get the endowment pad for the front. Just $5 more. Oh, man. So what's the idea about that? You're saying that a lot of people do look at people's rear ends, male and female.
Well, every now and then when the women's magazines do surveys to ask what do women evaluate immediately when they're sizing up a guy, many women look at a guy's butt, see if he has a nice-looking butt.
Oh, that has always been top of the list whenever they've asked. Even 15 years ago when I started doing this research, there was survey after survey that was done. What do you look at in a man? It was the butt.
First?
Yeah.
Really?
What do you really like to look at when you're walking down the street? And that was it. I mean, women do like a well-turned butt, as you all call it.
A more rounded.
Can I just say one thing about the negative side of all this?
Sure.
Just so everybody doesn't think we're off the wall.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I think it's great that everybody's looking better, but I feel that the negative side is that there's even more emphasis than ever on the wrappings, on what's outside, and still nobody's talking about everything this culture seems to have lost, which are those sort of invisible beauties, meaning what is inside a person. We seem to be placing all the value of a person on that exterior surface wrapping, what I call the empty package.
Yeah. I think we're kind of having fun tonight, but if you remember when people used to say you look at the lines on somebody's face, an older person's face, and it's a roadmap of their life, and you know that they have experience, you can go to them and ask them questions, and the sage advisor. But how do you feel about that as a plastic surgeon?
I agree with you, Mike. I think that sometimes things are carried to extremes, but I think that the outside is like a cover on a book, and it may entice you to explore that book or to look a little bit more into it. And while certainly the inside is very, very important, the outside is something that is going to influence how people look at you, and I've seen that repeatedly in my practice.
But if it also influences how you think of yourself, if you think of your value diminishing because of wrinkles, and the wrinkles are going to come, and you're constantly running the repair shop, I mean, what about all those other things that you used to like in yourself and that used to attract people to you? Where are the grandmothers is what I wonder. Where are those lovely old women whose laps we used to crawl into, lie our head on their big bosoms, and they smelled of lavender, and they had all the questions and made us feel that the world was all right? I agree with you. This is fun what we're talking about, and it's healthy and it's good. But I think the other side bears a little discussion, too.
I'm very glad that you brought that up, Nancy, and I think that sometimes it's like a good old pair of jeans or an old shirt that just fits you just right and it's very comfortable. But we don't want to do plastic surgery, at least, to extremes. My opinion is to do things in a natural way and improve on them, but not make someone look like they're in a wind tunnel.
Yeah, it's almost irritating that this has come along at this point, you know, now that I'm a baby, I'm a boomer, you know, and I'm going through this now. Why can't it be that old way, you know, where those wrinkles on your face mean, oh, you have experience, we're going to promote you, we're going to give you more money, we're not going to kick you out.
Well, it can, I think. Are you a father?
Yes, I am.
Well, I mean, I think this is where, obviously, it begins, that children today have to be brought up, because of television more than anything, to learn to value themselves for who they are inside, rather than the Nike shoes, rather than the gold chains, rather than all these products that are always being sold to them, and that's the parent's job. And
that parental job is so difficult when you got to go up a big monster like the media, that's for sure.
The monster, the media, and the school, and the cliques, and all that's popular.
Yeah. Got two girls, as a matter of fact. This line is for Jessica, and this line is for Jill.